I have an older version of this web conferencing. I just used it this morning at home on my laptop and did see that they have upgraded a little bit. For example, down here you see some different dimensions for the video. This one is quite small. In the version of this web conference that I downloaded this morning, they have 3 options that you can choose from, including one that's about double this size. If you use your own uploaded video, such as this one here, it will be a bigger image, so it'll be more visible. But like I say, then you have to wait a little while for it to download. I'm going to go ahead and hit it just to, now since I've shown it on here before, it may not take it long to download. It may find it in memory and be able to bring it up faster, although I'm not sure if it will or won't. It actually hasn't seemed to make a whole lot of difference in the past, whether I've used it on a computer or not. So I suppose because it's downloading to multiple computers around the world, maybe the length of download doesn't matter whether or not, I don't understand why it wouldn't, but it doesn't seem to matter whether you've seen it before. The other thing while it's downloading that I would mention is that kind of a quirky element showing a video that you've uploaded to the servers in Phoenix is that the download will be different depending on the bandwidth of your students. So I was working with a student in Germany the other day, and I showed this video, and she started seeing it at least a couple minutes before I did. She obviously had greater bandwidth than I did, better connection of some sort. And so she started seeing it well in advance that I could see it. So as I mentioned, I can keep talking until it starts showing, but that time is different depending on the student's bandwidth. So if I keep talking and suddenly my student in Germany begins seeing the video, it's going to override my talk, whereas a student in Colombia working with a dial-up system may take a lot longer. So the uploaded video, there's elements of that that make it so that I don't really want to recommend it. I would say in most cases it's much better to upload your videos, even though you have some time constraints and so forth. Upload your videos to YouTube, and it will play for everybody pretty much the same time. It may vary a little bit, but YouTube, like I say, has done a wonderful job of creating a system that downloads very quickly and is pretty consistent across the board. While that movie's downloading, so you can see the difference between that and a YouTube video, however, and again, let me remind you, with the newer version of this web conference, I can make that image at least double the size, maybe even a little bigger than double the size. Anyway, while the uploaded video is downloading into, anybody that happened to be watching in, which in this case is nobody, let me talk about one more of the tabs up here, the desktop sharing. Desktop sharing means that basically a student can see anything that you see on your computer. And so you can turn on the desktop sharing, and for example, I have a PageMaker on this computer. Most people don't have PageMaker. It's a very expensive program, but I could turn on desktop sharing and do a demonstration of PageMaker. And it wouldn't matter whether you have PageMaker on your computer or not. You'd be able to see my demonstration because it's coming from my computer, not from yours directly. So desktop sharing can be helpful that way. However, in the same way that this video is taking quite a while to download from Phoenix, the desktop sharing would also take quite a while. Not this long, but it's basically capturing an image from your desktop and then transferring that to Phoenix and then back out to your students, and then a few seconds later it captures another image. So it's not actually a video when you're doing desktop sharing. It's basically taking snapshots every few seconds and trying to upload those through Phoenix to your participating students. I'm not even going to bother to demonstrate desktop sharing. I just want you to know it exists. It has some limitations, as does trying to play an uploaded video to your students. So my recommendation as far as the video goes is to go ahead and create a video, or find a video, upload it to YouTube, and let YouTube's bandwidth and system handle it for you. And I would suggest in most cases that's a better way of handling desktop sharing as well. You could, for example, do what I'm doing right now. You could turn on desktop sharing and create a video even using this system and demonstrate different things. You could take that video and then go do some editing on it and edit out some pieces if it's taking too long between screen captures or whatever. Or there's other ways that you create a video to demonstrate what you want to demonstrate. I can't highly recommend, at this time with the bandwidth that most of us have, I can't highly recommend the desktop sharing. But these other functions I think are great. One function that I have not talked about, and I think I'm going to get the video here in a second, is the chat. Even while the video is going, even while I'm talking, even while you're seeing my webcam image, for example, I can still, not only I, but the students can still be text chatting. So down in the lower left of this screen, I can put something in there, and I think it's probably underneath my image. I can move my image. Oops, there's the video.
People ask me, hey, who? Why do you move, man? Why? You're some kind of war junkie? I won't say a goddamn word. Why? They don't understand. They don't understand why we do it. They don't understand. It's got a man next to you. And that's it. That's all it is.
President Reagan once said it was a comment. It's not what you don't know that bothers me. It's what you know that's not so. Well, that can be said of anybody. We all know a lot that's not so. There are conceptual barriers. They're very understanding of reality.
I forgot to re-upload this video. Somehow I don't know, it didn't take right, so I need to upload a new version. But anyway, but you see that it did take a while, but it's a lot bigger image and probably somewhat better image if you upload a video and show it from through the Phoenix servers. But you just have to work around it. You're going to hit that button and keep talking until it starts playing. I'm going to go back to the text chat a second. You can see then over on the left side now is the text chat screen. And as I said, in actual use in the past, what I found is that I've been in sessions where there have been 100 people participating. And this system, by the way, will take, I think, up to 500. But anyway, so I've been in sessions where there have been 100 people. And while the main speaker is talking, people are chatting back and forth by text. They're asking questions, they're commenting to each other, and it's interesting. I mean, as a speaker, I don't have to respond to questions right now. Sometimes they kind of flip by, especially if people are making random comments as you're talking. It's a little bit disconcerting, and you can turn it off if you want to. You can control it if you want to, but by and large, if I were using this in live distance instruction, I would just tell the students, if you would like to ask a question, please use the text chat and type it up there, and when I finish my train of thought, I will address your question. And that's what I would tell them to do. Now, like I say, some of these other meetings that I've been at haven't been really classrooms, and the participants have felt, you know, free to type anything they wanted to. And so you have a speaker talking, and you have people carrying on text conversations at the same time, and that's kind of weird. But I wouldn't expect that out of university students. They would feel a little bit intimidated from doing that. But nonetheless, let's say I wanted to, there's other ways I can use this, by the way. I could type a question in here. What are some barriers to effective communication? I can type up a question, and then I could require every student in the class to respond to that on the fly. In other words, you're basically you know, having a pop quiz real quick in the middle of your discussion. And when you're all done, there's a little button down here that allows you to save it all. So you could actually grade their comment or their response to your question if you wanted to. So you literally can use the text chat as a way of doing a pop quiz or something like unto that, or just you know, kind of polling your students. You know, what do you think about such and such, and let them respond in text chat. You can save it. That kind of verifies, among other things, that they're really there. Now I'm going to move my video over here again. But over here, everybody who signs in, their name shows up here. Now, if they're using some sort of username, you won't know who it is. But if you tell your students you have, sign in with your regular name, so that's how we're taking attendance, then all of their names will show up here in this box here as active buddies, it's called, or active students. So this will tell you who's there. However, if you then require them also over here to respond to a question, their name will also show up over in text. So that may be valuable to you. Just real quick, a couple of other things to make note of. If somebody's in, the average participant will not see all of these functions. They don't have access to these functions. However, it's possible to give somebody temporary moderator capabilities. So if you want, if a student, for example, is going to do a student presentation, you can give that student temporary moderator functions, and then suddenly he'll have all these tabs, and he can go ahead and do his presentation. Another thing to note is that you can also, I don't have anybody online to demonstrate it for, but you can block students from talking, you can block them from doing anything, you can kick them out of the room if you want to. So I can't demonstrate that today because there's nobody here to kick out of the room. But you can block people, you can turn off all other audio, you can turn off the text chat, you can turn off, and like I say, you can actually, kick students out of the classroom altogether if somehow they're bothering you, or you just don't like them, or they're not maybe really students. Somebody came in, learns about your system, and wants to come bug you, you can kick them out, and you can block them permanently from ever coming back into the system. Well, I think this pretty well covers my demonstration. When I'm done here, I'm going to go. The recording will automatically. It takes a few minutes, but it will finalize the recording and leave it as something that I can put online for all of you to see in the future. And so, since there's nobody here to ask if you have any questions, I'll leave that at that. Thank you for sitting in on this demonstration. And if you do have any questions, please drop me an email at kharvey@kmep.kz, or you can also address my Hotmail account, virtualclassroom@hotmail.com. Thank you very much.